Well. All right.
So we're opposites in that regard.
I can rap.
You can rap.
All right. Yeah, I used to do it.
That's amazing.
You ready to start the episode?
I'm ready.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Reps That Count
Yes,
podcast
sir.
with Valentz and Adam.
Yes, sir.
I mean, beautiful podcast where we talk about the things that count in life.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we go through our journey and, by putting out what we learn into the world, we hope that you learn something without going through the same things.
Absolutely. One day we'll talk about fitness.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
I mean, fitness is very important to us. So, it comes up from time to time.
Just work out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So how you doing, man? How you
I'm
been?
good. Had a very productive week.
Okay.
Got ahead on some things. Answered some questions. Life question stuff that's been lingering around. So it's been good. I feel good. I feel like I closed some chapters, which is cool.
You know what? I had a pretty productive week too, man.
Let me hear it.
Like something about our last episode, like kind of sparked something in me. Like, so it's a combination of the conversations we've been having and my B vitamins, I think.
Dude, yeah.
Like, I had a doctor's appointment, recently. Like, actually, I got to go back today. Did blood work and all that stuff. I'm like I'm making progress in life. But specifically relating to our last episode, like the whole do the hard things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I've been texting people back.
Me and my wife spoke about this yesterday.
Wow. Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
So there was a time where we felt overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird, but we are soulmates and we're like kind of the same person. And we never spoke about this, but I was ignoring everyone because when I feel overwhelmed, I need to isolate myself. And it's not that I need to, but that is my first instinctual reaction is to isolate myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, and I felt so overwhelmed that even a basic conversation I thought would put me over the edge.
Yeah.
So, and for the first time, she said the same thing. And it was months ago that we felt like this. And it was crazy that we were both going through that same exact experience and had the same exact reaction to that experience. It was crazy.
It is. Dude, and it's not even like a conversation that I'm avoiding. Like, it's just returning a text. Like a simple yes or no answer. Like, I'm just like, okay, I can't deal with this right now. Because answering this could lead to something else. And bro,
dude, ignoring my own friends. Like I didn't have it. I had nothing left.
Absolutely. Like I'm here with you, dude. I'm here with you, bro. I'm like, bro, I have text messages from months ago that never even got open. It was like the notification would just be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with this.
I get you.
And then like later comes and it's like, it's too late.
I get you.
So I've been responding to people. Like there was like somebody text me. I didn't get a chance to text back that day. And usually I'm like, well, all right, we're done here. But I text back the next day. I was like, hey man, apologize, boom, 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 whatever, needed to be said was said. And I'm like, oh my God, this feels good.
Yeah, it does. It feels so scary in the moment, but it's not. It's just we make it in our heads. But there was a specific friend and mentor of mine that he kept reaching out. And he just kept reaching out.
Okay.
And I just kept ignoring it. And I texted him probably a month ago. And I was like, look, I was going through some stuff. And I appreciate that you didn't give up.
Wow. That's a good friend right
there.
there.
Yeah, it's a good friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. See, we go through similar things, man. Yeah. So yes, that's one of the things that I made progress on this past week, and outside of that, had a good competition. I did. Man, last weekend was awesome.
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
So he got first place. Bam, bam, bam.
Let me see.
Yeah. Golf clap. There we go.
Yeah, man, that was cool, man. But the competition was like it wasn't even my favorite part of the weekend. I got to do some commentary on the live stream.
Nice.
I put together a live stream, and it wasn't like the person putting the meet together didn't even like ask for the live stream. I was like, hey man, can I? Since I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna take pictures, and I'm competing. Like, would you like a live stream? And he's like, yeah, man, like, what does it take? I'm like, I have everything. I just need Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I put together the live stream, and there were moments where I didn't have to take pictures. So me and my little cousin, who doesn't know anything about weightlifting, I was like, dude, let's hop on these mics, and we're going to commentate. We're going to cheer people on. And we sat there, we did it, and it was awesome, dude. Like, the following day, I remember specifically this weightlifter, I think high school girl, she's like, hey, were you commentating on the live stream? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you said such nice things about me. It made me feel so good.
Yes.
I was like, man, you're welcome, man.
Yes.
Like, so that was like my favorite part, just being able to, because a lot of times these parents are watching their kids in the sport of weightlifting. They don't know what's going on.
Of course.
So having that voice to, hey, this is why that was a no lift. This is why we're waiting 2 minutes. This is, like what's gonna happen next? Why you haven't seen your kid yet? Like how the bar moved. Like all of that was my favorite part.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you're able to do that. That's beautiful.
That was awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, I got a topic for you, man.
Hit me.
All right, this is one of my favorite topics. Today I want to speak on the seasons of life, but specifically the winters of life. And so, for those people who I just lost, where it's like winter, like I don't know what the hell that is. The winters of life is just basically the hard times, right? Like when nothing seems to be going right.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about like how, if you've ever been in that season, how you push through, and basically how other people can push through.
Ooh, this one's deep. There's so much here. Because I have gone through episodes of depression and life was life for a long time for me, I think that when I started to understand that life is life and life is not always supposed to be sunshines and rainbows and summers like we were talking about, or falls where you're reaping the harvest, it better prepared me to deal with these winters. Because if you expect that there are going to be winters, they're a lot more bearable, as opposed to having a victim mentality and why is this happening to me? Dude, it happens to everybody. Dude. Everybody has winters.
Everybody, dude, literally.
So it's just the way life is. And I like to think of life as a video game, and you are in this video game and you're walking around. There's so much cool things to see, but there's hard parts of the video game, and there's, it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't even be fun.
It wouldn't.
So the winters make the summer so great, and they're necessary. They're necessary to build character. They're necessary for you to appreciate the summers and the falls. They're super important. That's how I'm going to start.
Okay. We have to put a pin on the fact that you look at life as a video game.
Yeah.
Because I look at it the same way.
Oh, yeah.
The exact same way.
And it's fun that way.
That's the episode right there. We have to talk about the video game of life. Maybe next episode or a couple episodes, but back to the topic. See how good I'm getting?
Oh, yeah. Until we forget, but we'll watch this and then we'll remember.
Oh, I remember. So yeah, like the winters of life, right? Like you said, everybody goes through them. And it's just like the seasons that we go through on Earth, right? Like You have your springtime, which is like, there's really not much going on. It's just beautiful bliss. Like there's not too much work, right? The weather is just beautiful. You're just coasting, right? And then the summer, it's like when you have to start actually putting in the work. Right? It's hot outside. It's tough. Like, you don't really want to do this work, but you can do the work, right? Like, you're not bundled up. Like people are working really hard in the summertime, and in life, that's the season where you're going to school, or you're working on a project. Like, you have that energy. The sun is bright. Like, everything.
Oh, I like that.
Right? You have the energy to put in the work. The problem is, a lot of people don't take that opportunity, right? They don't put in the work. It's like they go from spring, where it's just fun and bliss, and then they go to summertime, where it's like, I'm just going to continue my spring. I'm just going to keep having fun. Like, I'm not putting in any work. I'm not going to better myself. I'm not going to put in the rest that count. I'm not going to read any books. I'm not going to watch podcasts. I'm not doing anything. Just spring part 2, spring break. And then the fall comes. Fall is when you're supposed to reap the benefits, right? Like, you go hard at work in the summertime. Fall, you might get a little promotion. That's that. And it's not like a 3-month period. Like, this is not a 3-month thing. It could be years.
It's the come up.
Yeah, right? You get that promotion. You get that pay raise. You're like, okay, I'm in a better position. And then when the fall comes, so you reap that in the fall, and then winter comes, it's like you're just in a better position. Like, you could remember that, you put in the work, like, things would be okay. And like, you're just prepared for it. Like, you're prepared for, a death in the family, right? Because you have a little bit more disposable income. Like, you're prepared for the depression. It's like, okay, like, it's tough, but maybe I have money to, like, go to my favorite restaurant and make myself feel better for a day, or go to therapy, whatever that is. But when you don't put in that work in that summertime, and you don't have any benefits to reap in the fall, like, you're trying to, like, catch up in the fall, and the summer catches you outside with no harvest. Like, I mean, that winter catches you with nothing to hold you up. Like, it gets really tough. Like, you're just stuck.
Absolutely. And we spoke a little bit about this last episode. The debt, there's not having nothing, and then there's being in debt.
Yeah.
When that winter comes around. Being homeless when that winter comes around.
Yeah, it's like, there's a difference between having a hard time paying your bills, or, putting a little bit something on your bills, and not having a place to stay.
Yeah. And it's sad, but a lot of people live in that place, or live, one paycheck away from being in that place.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Life's expensive, emotionally, financially, physically. Everyone's trying to take your energy. Everyone's trying to take your money. Or at least it seems, right?
Yeah.
If you're not prepared. So it's tough. I agree with you. There are seasons. I see it as the rule of the third. And I forgot where I heard this, but we share it at the gym all the time, where a third of your days are going to be shit. A third of your days are going to be okay. And a third of your days are going to be great. And it doesn't have to happen linearly like that. Sometimes you'll go through a long period of bad days.
Yeah.
But life has its way of balancing this stuff out. So as you know, you lift as a weightlifter, it's probably similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have these days where you're just bombing everything, and then you have these great days, and then you have the days in the middle.
Yeah.
Where you're just putting in the work.
Yeah,
really cool.
Just the boring stuff that you just kind of, it's like, all right, cool. It's just repetition. Like, everything's good, nothing bad. And then there's days where you go in the gym and it's like you're missing 60, 70%. It's like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So what do you do, and we've probably both been in this situation, when you didn't prepare for winter and you are left out in the cold? How do you get out of that? Because I feel like a lot of people they're so buried and so deep in just worry and trauma and pain that they don't feel like they can ever get out and prepare for summer because they're still recouping from
2 winters ago.
from 2 winters ago, for real.
Yeah. Man, the one thing that is very helpful when you're going through tough times is finding one good thing to be grateful for. I feel like, so yes, being grateful for any little thing. And the way to find something to be grateful for is to look at where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you have a car and you're able to put $10 worth of gas, which is, probably not much these days. And then you could take a look back at the times where you didn't have enough money for the bus.
Oh, yeah.
And you compare those two. It's like, okay, times are hard right now because I'm further along, but this $10 back 5 years ago when I was on the bus, that would have been a blessing. So I'm going to look at it from this perspective. I have $10. There was a time where I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm grateful for that. And then you just move on. Like just that little bit. Yes, it's tough right now, but there was a time where it's tougher.
Yep. Gratitude.
That's it.
It's huge. It's huge. It's there. You can look at the same. You can be in a situation and have a completely different perspective just based off of gratitude. And it could be the same exact situation. You can have a victim mentality, or you can be grateful for the things that you have. I studied Stoicism a little bit, and they talk about negative visualization where, let's say you're in the funk, you think of a scenario that's even worse.
Yeah.
And you live in that scenario for a couple minutes, and then you snap out of it, and then you're like, oh, I'm grateful to be in the scenario that I'm in right now, because it could be a lot worse.
Exactly.
It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
I think that's super important. But like you said, remembering that it could be worse, or remembering that it has been worse in the past, is definitely a way to step forward. I agree.
Yeah, man. I love that. And like, I remember in high school, we had this substitute teacher named, I think her name was Miss Jones. Like, just tough old lady. Like, she wasn't a teacher. She's just a substitute, and her daughter was a guidance counselor at the school. But whenever she was substitute, like, when you have a substitute teacher, you're like, I want a free day. I don't want to do nothing today.
Yep.
And we would ask this lady, I think she was Jamaican or something, like, hey, Miss Jones, can we have a free day today? And she would look at us and say, you woke up this morning and God didn't charge you a thing.
Ooh. Miss Jones.
Like, you didn't have to pay to wake up this morning. So that's something right there. Like, if you're listening, like, you could take that as something to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
Like, you didn't have to come out of pocket to wake up.
There's a lot there, man. There really is. You know that, and we won't get political on this show, but there's a lot going on in this world, man. There's people that have it so much worse, so much worse. If you're listening to this podcast, you have it better than most people in this world. You're
probably listening on an iPhone or Android. You're probably driving on your way to work right now. Like, all of those things you could be grateful for.
Yeah, you're living winter in Miami, not in the North Pole.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll be fine. And I know it feels like the North Pole because perception's reality, right? Mm-hmm. But if you sit back and think about how much worse it could actually be, you can really find gratitude in your current situation.
Yeah. Damn. This is good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is like the stuff that, again, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to hear, right? Like, oftentimes when you're going through these winters, you feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
But being alone and isolating yourself are kind of two different things, right? Like, you don't have to be alone. Like, you can speak to somebody, right? You can go and hang out with a friend or a family member. Like, you don't have to internalize your winter, right? You could just, hey, man, I'm going through something. I feel like a lot of people are ashamed to go through things in life.
Yes. And I was for a while. I wasn't as open as I am now. Back in like my mid-20s at all, actually. I didn't talk to anyone about anything.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend didn't even know I was going to therapy.
Wow.
It was, I would plan a break during my day from work to go to, no one knew. I don't even think my family knew. It was just something that I was going through, and I didn't want it to look a certain way or come off a certain way. And then when I got over that, it was helping me so much, and it was so special to me that I didn't want to share it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to break it. You get me?
Yeah.
Like this is working. Like I don't want to mess this up right now, kind of thing.
Wow.
Which is weird.
I mean, that is weird. But again, like, you were like, that was just where you were, right? There's as a male, right? I don't like, I hate how much you're not supposed to, right? And I feel like the fact that you went and seeked out help, maybe in the back of your mind, made you feel like it was a weak thing to do. Because, like when you grow up, it's like, you're a man. I mean, you got to toughen up, handle it. Like, just, you do it by yourself. You figure it out by yourself. Don't get help. Yep. Like, you fall down, you get up.
Yep.
Don't ask for a hand. Don't talk to nobody about your problems. Like, you internalize it. If you need money, like, you figure it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like.
That's the reason why I talk about it now.
Yeah.
And why I want to keep talking about it, because I was working in a restaurant industry, and one of my servers called out because he was going through some sort of episode. And then we spoke the next day, and he was like, no, I had to go see my therapist. And then I was like, oh, cool. And we started talking about it. And by him opening up and saying that, and he was a pretty cool guy, him opening up and saying that, it allowed me, or at least just freed something in my mind to maybe this is something I should look into. So I hope even through these conversations, more people seek therapy. I think everyone needs to see a therapist. You need to talk about the things that are going on in your life, good and bad and neutral.
Yeah.
Like and from an outside perspective, from a professional, I think so. How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, when I remember having not the same conversation with someone, but I just, after the divorce or whatnot, right? Like, that was a winter. It was like I was going through this. It was like a long winter, but I didn't realize I was in a winter. Like, before the divorce, like, I was just like in this funk. Like, I don't know what's going on, right? But like, I'm gonna be okay. Like, I'm no therapy, no nothing. I'm just like, I'm gonna be okay. When I stopped working, right, to focus on photography, like, I didn't have that 8 to 10 hours to hide in at work, right? That distraction of like, oh, I'm working, like, I can't worry about nothing. Like, so it was 8 to 10 hours I was at home by myself. I'm like, oh, I can't do nothing. And like, it just started getting real heavy. So going to therapy, I was like, like, it helped. So like, I was kind of the opposite of you, where like, I didn't hide it. I was just like, yo, like, this thing, like, as soon as it started helping, I'm like, yo, hey, listen, everybody, like, I'm doing this. Like, this is not, it's not taboo.
Yeah. I agree. and not only, I do want one day to jump in that space, and I don't know in what capacity, and I don't want to overstep what I'm qualified to do, but I do want to start some sort of a men's group or something where we just talk.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out
how,
not even how, but like what you can say, what you can't say, what you're supposed to say, because there's some moral stuff that's super important as well. And you have to be really careful with your words. Me and my wife were talking about this yesterday. Like sometimes the things that people say unknowingly, just because they don't have the emotional intelligence to understand the way people feel or empathy, they can poison you. Like words are powerful.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't mean to, but words matter, especially if people respect you. Like words matter, and you have to be really careful with what you say and what you don't say. But I would love to do something like that.
No, I think that would be very helpful. I feel like a lot of men do need like those men's groups, right? Like you need somewhere to not be judged for going through things, right? Like you need somewhere where like, you know, when the like, you know, when it's cold outside and that winter breeze is going, like you need a place where you could just go and sit by the fire for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like you're still going through it, but you just need somebody to be like, just give you a pat on the, hey man, you may just keep going. You're gonna be okay. You're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be great. But like you're right. There, you know, you have to navigate that in a way because, you know, if somebody's already feeling broken, you don't want to make them feel worse. You don't want to say the wrong thing to like make them like give up, I guess, right?
Yeah. So I've somehow have become that person for a good amount of people. I don't know what it is about me that people feel like they can open up, and a lot of times some of these fitness coaching clients that I take on, it becomes a lot more than that. And sometimes it has come to the point where people were really having like really dark thoughts and all this stuff. And then that was the first person that they thought of when they were seeking out help.
Wow.
And I have been able to help people in that regard. And I think I like it more than fitness, which is weird because I started this helping people journey through fitness.
Yeah.
But I just like helping people, and fitness just somehow, it was just the tool that I use. Yeah. But I want to dive deeper. This is the first time I'm even talking about it with anyone, but I might look into certifications and stuff like that because I want to do it the right way. Yeah. But it's like, that's helping, bro. Like there's no better feeling.
It's the stuff that counts for real, man. And like, I love that. And I mean, this podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Like this is one of the ways where we could reach out to people. Yeah. Right? Like while I'm sitting here, like, you know, when we're doing this podcast, I've never had the vision of like, oh, I want to have 1 million listens or 1 million downloads. It's like, if I could get 5 people to reach out and say, hey, this helped me.
That's it.
I'm like, okay, cool, man. Like, I don't want to go viral. I don't care about viral. Like, because, you know, like when you go viral, I feel like it kind of diminishes things and like the trolls start to, you know, infiltrate. And I just want my people. I want the people that this is for to get this. And then that's it. Nothing more.
I was listening to a Rich Roll podcast with Tim Ferriss. And they were talking about it sucks having that big of an audience because there's an expectation of you in this character that you've built and who you have to be. And if your mind changes on certain things, which my mind changes all the time.
It's supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because Tim Ferriss was talking. So guys, listen to that podcast, Rich Roll and Tim Ferriss. So Tim Ferriss has always suffered from bipolar disorder, depression, and all these things. And 5 years ago, he switched. You know, he's the 4-hour work week guy. He's like multi-millionaire just from writing books and podcasts and stuff. And he was giving all this advice and broken inside, like broken, childhood molestation, sexual assault and stuff like that. So it's like, it's broken. So he spent the past 5 years just talking more about mental health and all this, but he was like, it was hard because he was the efficiency guy,
Yeah.
and like everything's great. And so he said that it was hard switching over and transitioning. But yeah, I think more guys are talking about this stuff now, and it is more acceptable to talk about your how you feel and your experiences, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. I do notice a lot more people talking about it, but I also notice a lot more of the opposite too.
Clout.
Like it's, bro, I mean, like the attack, it's like you have, one group of people like, yo, like you could be whoever you want to be, right? Like you shouldn't men don't have to put themselves in a box. Like there's nothing you're supposed to do as a man, right? But there's also a big audience that's like, yo, as a man, you should do this. Like you should pay 100% of the bills. You should, like, shit, there's people that's like, oh, as a man, you shouldn't be laughing. As a man, you shouldn't cry. It's like, I can't laugh. I can't cry. Like, I can't spit the bills. I'm supposed to make $300,000 a year. I'm making 50.
Yeah.
Like, that's the medium. Like,
Yeah.
that's the median. Like, and it's like, how are you supposed to be okay when nothing you do is okay?
And I think social media has a
That's
big.
That's exactly what I'm speaking on,
You're
right?
seeing these 10-second clips of people's lives, and that's not really their life
At all.
Or even if it is their life, who cares? Like, who cares? I'm on social media to look at funny stuff. That's about it.
Yeah.
And
all right. So let's bring it back to winter.
yeah.
Right. So you said 10-second clips is not really their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people are in winter, but like they find a way to pretend like they're not. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of people with a lot of debt, driving in cars that they should not be driving, living in places that they should not be living, and they're just like digging themselves into the deepest hole possible. And it's like, dude, like you're going through something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't live the way you're living, but because of social media, like people are not okay with going through this hard time. Like you're going through it. You could pretend like you're not. All you want. You could come on social media and laugh and giggle and hey, everything's good. Look at my chain, blah blah. But at some point, like all the snow that's on your roof that you're ignoring, it's going to cave in.
Mm-hmm. It's sad because I think a lot of male suicide is from that.
Absolutely.
It's from building this perception of who you are and just getting so ingrained and so buried in that perception that you would rather take your life than to start all over, or you think you can't start all over. You literally think that the only exit is to leave this earth. And I think a lot of it's social media. A lot of it's not, like you said. I saw I think it was like Diddy and someone else hugging, and then people were putting them on blast. It was like social media was going crazy. Men shouldn't hug,
Yeah.
like, what? What are you talking about? This is wild.
You can't do nothing, bro. Yeah. But I mean, and I don't want to speak on women, but I feel like women go through the same thing, right? Like they're heavily influenced on social media also, and as men, we pursue women, right? So then that influence that they receive, like they throw it on us, and then we throw it back at them, and it's just this vicious cycle of like we're supposed to be working together, right? And then we just end up attacking each other and making everything harder for both of us, right? Like there was a clip that came out a couple weeks ago where this dude takes a girl out on a first date and they go to Cheesecake Factory, right? And she refused to get out the car. Legit. Like, he walked around the car like, hey, you want me to open your door? She's like, no. Like, you brought me to Cheesecake Factory. Like, as in, like, you just disrespected me. Like, I'm worth more than Cheesecake Factory on the first date. And it's like where did you get that?
Cheesecake Factory is delicious.
And it's not cheap. It's not like Wendy's for like everything's expensive right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine how much a Cheesecake Factory meal would cost.
It's probably expensive, man. It's probably expensive.
Like, how do you navigate through that as a male or a female? Right? Like the mindset. Like, imagine being a dude in that situation. Like I prepared for this. Like, I put on my best outfit. I put on some cologne. I drove and picked you up. I did everything everybody told me I was supposed to do. And then we get here, and it's not good enough.
Guys, stop chasing those girls. I'm telling you. I know those girls. I worked in nightlife a long time. I know those girls pretty well. And it's not it's a very first layer, no substance kind of person, and just stop chasing those girls. They're pretty, but that's gonna fade, and it's just not
girl.
worth it. She's bad.
No, like
she wasn't bad.
Hey, all right, so it wasn't what you thought. Like, you're thinking South Beach.
Yeah.
You were thinking South Beach.
That's what I was thinking.
Like supermodel.
Yeah.
Like no. And the internet did some digging, and like apparently the outfit she had on was from Shein. Like,
oh, okay.
Like the super cheap Chinese. Like it's like you can't. Like something didn't match up.
Yep.
So yeah, it's tough. I mean, and that's why I brought up the whole like being influenced, right? Because she was probably influenced by those girls that you just thought of, right? Yep. And it's like that changed her perspective of life and how things are supposed to be. But she's probably like a really cool chick.
True, I didn't think about it like that.
Right?
Like, yeah.
She's probably like the girl that, maybe before social media you would want around. Like I don't feel like she would have been, she is that shallow. Mm-hmm. But it was obviously social media because she pulled out her phone and she recorded the situation and she posted it as if she was offended. It was like, you're on a date, but now you have to show your date to social media.
So that is a real problem, how attention-seeking people are right now. And it's through the past, how many years social media has been around, like our dopamine levels are lowering and we're getting it from social media. And then it's harder and harder to get dopamine because we're just bombarded with media all the time, right? And so that's why you feel good every time you get a like or you get a comment. It just gives you a little bit of dopamine, right? For us, that we have ADHD, that's one of the chemicals that we lack: dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Those are the three chemicals. So especially for us, where we like that dopamine response that we get from someone liking or someone. So we'll do crazy shit like that, like try to go viral by sharing this video because that's attention.
Yeah.
And it gives them a good feeling or a good response, good or bad. And you're still getting these chemicals.
It's still a chemical.
that are being released. And there's so much of that. That's stuff that I don't even watch. I don't even I'll scroll right past anything like that because I just refuse to give into it, man. Like, you can tell when people are doing things for attention.
Absolutely.
And that was for attention.
Is that like a superpower though? Like, I don't think everybody can. Like, I swear, like there was at some point, so me personally, my social media, I don't get notifications. Like
me
from neither. Instagram.
Yeah, me neither.
It does not. Like, not the ding, not the little circle.
It gives me anxiety, so I don't do it.
I have to go and look, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks. But like a few years ago, I remember I was looking at this girl. Like, she posted something. Like, it was just like a photo. And like, she's getting a lot of likes, and she's like in the shower, kind of like in the She wasn't naked. I don't remember if she had like a bikini on or just like something kind of revealing. And like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And I look at the picture and it's like, it was altered. Like I could tell, like things were squeezed in and stuff. But it was her face. Like I looked at her face and her face just looked dead. Like she looked like she had nothing. Like there was nothing inside. And it's like, yo, this girl is going through something right now. Like I don't know her. I didn't reach out to her. I don't because it's like that's not like I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I was like, yo, she's going through something, and like you forgot how to you forget how to live life, right? Like you're in the middle of a deep winter, but you have to pretend like it's still springtime.
Oh yeah. I lived in South Beach, and I was a nightclub promoter and bartender. Lived right there on the beach. Saw people move from Arkansas or wherever, and they were real happy people.
Ooh.
And the beach just eat them up.
You see it
in 2 months. Just eat them alive. The negative people, the toxic environments, the drugs, everything it's a fake world.
Yeah.
It is a fake world where the money is fake, the people are fake, everything is just fake. 70% of the tables that are being bought are comp tables. They're bought by the promoters, right? Or the nightclub. So it's only 30% of the tables that are actually being sold. So there's this image that these clubs are portraying that it's not even real, but they do it for the 30%, right? Because the 30% is going to spend enough money.
Wait. We can't skip that. So 70% of the tables are basically given away.
Yes.
To people who probably don't that could probably afford it, maybe? Like, because like you want those high quality people there?
No, so it would be like us. We were college kids back then, but we knew all the sorority girls, and we knew all the girls. So what we did, we brought girls to the nightclubs, and then the nightclubs would compost bottles and then pay us out at I think we were getting paid like $150 a night.
Okay.
To just bring a bunch of people. Bring a bunch of girls. So it's you and then all girls. So it fills the place with girls, where do the guys want to go?
Where the girls are.
Yeah, where the girls are at. So 70% of the people there aren't paying for anything at all. Just to show that there's a party, right? Because who's going to spend money at an empty venue? Nobody. So you got to fill the venue. But it's just fake world. Yeah, everyone was living in. And just like you said, that you saw her face, that 2 months into these girls living on the beach, is that same look where it's just emptiness. There was no substance in that life. It was weird. It was just this weird place that we lived in. The conversations were very first layer. You're talking about sports or this or that, like just that basic conversation. And that's how everyone lived for a long time. It's crazy. Yeah.
And then like the 30% are the people who just come out of pocket and do whatever they got to do to be part of this scene.
Yes.
Like those are like, it's like the real people, like you leave the real world and you spend your hard-earned real cash to go into this fake world.
Yes. And it's to get the attention of girls that don't care, dude. I know these girls. They don't care about a 6-year-old guy that's spending a bunch of money. There are some bottle rats, and, they will play into that. But it's just to get these guys to spend more money. Most of the time. They're professionals at it.
Wow.
At getting guys to spend money. It's crazy. It's crazy. But again, it's just a very empty life. Same thing with social media. Most of social media. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people just live. So that is distraction, right? Escapism, where you're not happy with your life, so you go into this alter life situation, right? Some people do it through video games. Some people do it through nightclubs. Some people do it through vacations. Some people do, like, they're looking forward to something else to distract them from the emptiness and sadness that they're going through in their life. Which escapism is dangerous because you're not dealing with your life. Like, your life should be good enough that, yeah, you vacation, but it's not to escape from your life.
Like, when you're escaping on vacation, you don't get to enjoy the vacation. The whole time you're thinking about what you left behind.
Yes.
And I actually had a panic attack earlier this year. Like, I think it was around March. And like, that's when like things started, like when I understood that little concept of like, okay, like I can't be where I am, because once I leave here, like I was at a weightlifting competition, and it was the biggest one I had to cover. Like, I had a big team. I had a whole lot of things going on. Like, I think 6 cameras going on. Like, and I'm managing like a team of people and athletes that I had to keep track of. And it was the last day where early in the morning, right? Like, we went and got coffee and a breakfast sandwich, and like the coffee started like getting me jittery, and I'm sitting down like on remote triggers, and I'm like, there's like 6 remotes in front of me. And I'm like, I'm thinking about the fact that once this is over, I got to back up. I had to take this one person to the airport. Then I have to return the car. Then I got to get to the airport myself. Then I have to get on the plane. Then once I come home, I have to go to work tomorrow. And then I have to start editing these pictures. And bro, when I tell you, I almost ran out of the building, and I was stuck, right? I'm stuck at the table because like I had to take these pictures. And I'm like, dude, I need air. Like, I'm holding back tears. And, thankfully I got a break, and I walked outside, and like I had to put on, matter of fact, I had to put on music to calm me down. I had to put on like some slow music, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And it was because I was just thinking ahead and thinking about the things that like I still had to deal with, right? Like, I'm thinking about work and all this stuff. I'm like it was very interesting. It was scary, but like I'm putting it into perspective. It's like, it's the same thing on vacation. Like, if you're a lot of like, if you go on these beaches, you see these families where, let's say, mom, dad, 2 kids, and you'll see the mom and the 2 kids having fun, and the dad is like on the beach in khaki shorts, because he's not on vacation. He's just there.
Yep.
He's still at the office.
Yeah. That happened to me recently.
Okay.
And I felt really bad about it. And it only happened the first day, but I was so connected to work still, because I was supposed to stay and work and then meet them for vacation. But I was like, forget it. I'm just going to go, and I'll just leave work. That's fine. I'll deal with it when I get back. But I didn't. It was still in my head. It's like, there's so much stuff that I got to do. And I was on my phone, and nothing pisses my wife off more than me being on my phone. Like, work as hard as you can when you're at work.
Yeah.
And when you're home, you're at home. And I remember like getting angry at myself. I was like, dude, your family's right here. Everything that you need is right here. And you're there. You're at work. You're still at work. You paid to be at work at this point. We're so crazy, dude. Right.
And we all go through the same things too, man. So at this point, this is the longest episode we recorded.
I didn't even know. I thought we were like 30 minutes in. How long have we been talking?
Over an hour.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. We got to wrap this.
We've been like, this is at 54 minutes. And I started this when I was playing the song.
Dude, I had no idea.
It's a great conversation.
Yeah.
It's great conversation.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to the topic.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we stayed on topic. We just kind of branched out because it all comes back to the lights winters, right? Like either you're dealing with it by not dealing with it. Either you're not dealing with it by just like staying home and just like letting it beat you up, or you're trying to escape it by going to this empty world of nightclubs and drugs or whatever. Or you could like face it like a buffalo, right? Buffaloes, like, they walk into the winter because like you get through it faster.
That's my new favorite animal.
Right?
I didn't know that till right now.
Yeah, like when the winters are coming, like buffaloes walk towards it because it's like, I'm just gonna meet you halfway. Like the faster I go this way, if you're going south and I'm going north, I'm gonna get out of this storm quicker.
That is so interesting.
Yes, they walk through the storm because obviously, like you get out of it faster.
Oh,
so
I'm a buffalo now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. So everybody should be buffalo. So like when you go through these winters, if you're in winter right now, just know it's part of life. It's gonna come. Like the life seasons will be here all the time. If you're having fun right now, just know life is gonna come around with a winter season. Like if you're in the summertime and you're grinding, keep planting those seeds.
I'm not here yet, but I think the step above that is looking forward to winters. And it's a crazy concept, but Ben Bergeron talks about it. Stoicism, they call it the Stoic test. Stoicism talks about it, where you've been preparing for this for a long time, and you're so equipped that you're looking forward to this fight.
Wow.
And you know that something good it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be tough, and it's gonna suck, but you're gonna be stronger, and something good is gonna come out of it. So you look forward to these situations where you can prove yourself that you're prepared.
I just got chills. I don't know why. I swear, I legit, I was like, oh shit, I just got a cool breeze. And me personally, I'm at the end of a winter right now. That's where I am. Just all around. It's like, okay, my winter season is almost over. I could feel it, and I cannot wait to the spring.
Yeah.
It's at the point where how you would get those cool days, but the sun is out and it's like, okay, cool, it feels good. It's not snowing anymore, but it's still cold, but it's it's a lighter winter, and I love that.
I'm at the end of a winter too. But I also create my own winter sometimes, where my mind can be a dark place sometimes, and I can just fabricate problems. Wow. And then I have to calm my mind down. I do a lot of some meditation, some journaling, all that stuff, and it's something I battle either on the daily or at least once a week, and before I used to try to escape from it. I moved a lot of times just to escape from life.
Yeah.
And I can't. I can't do that anymore, obviously. And
yeah. You're rooted now.
I'm rooted, but it's something. If other people deal with that, I want them to know that it is kind of normal, that you're not always going to be happy, and these winters can sometimes be a day or a week, and they're not always long seasons. Storms can come in short bursts. And you have to tell yourself that this too shall pass, and just, like you said, face it head on. But I think there's a certain amount of shame, I feel depressed today, or I feel why do I feel this way? Because you're a human. You're allowed to feel certain ways. And you have to separate yourself from your feelings sometimes, because there's you and then there's your mind. Yeah. And those are two very different things. You as a being and your mind is a tool that you use, but that's not you. That's not your soul.
I want to throw a concept out there.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I feel like, all right, so for me, a winter is just like a long, drawn out, just bad thing, hard. You know, you're losing this, you're going through this, bam, bam. What if, like you say, like, you know, you put yourself, like, there's days where it's just bad, right? But then the next day is good. What if we look at that as just a summer rain?
Yeah.
Because in the summertime, it does rain.
Yeah.
Right? Like, essentially, like, every season will still have bad days.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Every season will still have bad days, right? Like, we have hurricane season. That's not in the winter.
Then I'm not in the winter. It's more like that.
Yeah, like you have those you know, random summer thunderstorms.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if we look at it like that, that's good, right? Because you're still on the up and up. You're still grinding. You're still moving. Like, the winter is when you stop.
Grind's gotta fucking chill, dude. Like,
hey, man, fuck it. Yeah,
is fall coming? Is fall coming?
When you reap the benefits? Yeah, it's coming. So, all right. Final thoughts, man. Let's give some final thoughts, and, you know, let's close this out, because we could do this for another 3 hours. Yeah, final thoughts for me is just, don't quit. Don't quit. Like, the winters will make you stronger. Just know that, you know, if you keep moving, even if you have to crawl at first, just find one thing every day to just be grateful for. Find one thing every day to just do, right? Even if it's just making your bed. Because sometimes that's tough. Just wake up, make your bed. Be happy that you woke up. That's two. That's two on the checklist right there. And then from there, man, you have a positive attitude. Just tell yourself, you know what, we're gonna have a good day today. And even if it's not, we could go back to, what was it, negative
visualization.
Negative visualization, right? If you go through something bad, if you're driving to work and you get stuck in traffic because of an accident, be like, you know what? Instead of being like, I should have left my house 10, 15 minutes earlier, just be like, yo, if I left earlier, I could have been in that accident. And just move through life like that. That's how I want to close this out.
Love it.
So yeah, thanks for...
I think we got something here, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us on another episode of...
The Reps That Count.
All right, we'll see you next time, guys.
See you.